and gentlemen, welcome back to another flight on the UFly 777. Today we're flying with my colleague Adriano. We work in the same architecture firm, hence the title of the video, Architect Tries to Fly a 777. So
Hopefully
Adriano,
I don't crash.
Yeah. So Adriano, if you want to give a little bit of a history about yourself, who you are, you know, how you started in the architecture field, and then we'll get underway.
Yeah, so my name's Adriano, and I went to Mohawk College, did a 3.5-year architectural technology degree, or diploma, sorry, not that skilled, but yeah, I've been working for about 7-8 years now, and yeah.
Great. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flight deck.
This is a 777-200. So Boeing manufactured multiple 777s. The first one was a lower tech. First one, I don't know if it came out in early 2000s or in the 90s, but it was a shorter plane. This is a longer version of that plane, and it's a bit more updated with the systems. And now they've created another one, the 777-300, which is almost, maybe it's a third longer. So it holds a lot more passengers and has bigger engines. So we're kind of flying the smaller version of the 777, but it's still one that was used and is still being used for transatlantic flights and flights all around the world, because the range on these planes is very high, so they can go a long way. Right. So first thing first is we're gonna get started by getting comfortable, because it's important to be comfortable as a pilot. So I'll show you on the left side, sorry, on the right side of your seat is this lever here, and this one lets you go in and out. So basically the ideal sitting position is that where you put your heels on the ground and you have just the upper part of your foot on the pedals. So that's a bit too far up, so just move them down a bit. You want to have like your toes almost just above. Yeah, perfect, exactly. So you don't want to have it all the way up, because then it causes the rudders to move too much, but you want to have it about here. So then you can move your seat in as far as you need to, and we're going to double check that this doesn't hit your crotch when we pull up. And then if we turn, does it hit your leg?
No,
It does hit it. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab it here.
Yeah.
And actually it's on the other side. There's a really big lever. So the step is, first you lift yourself out of the seat like this, push the button on the lever, and then you use the lever to leverage yourself up or down.
Oh, gotcha. And I want to go down.
Okay, so bring it down.
It's like the e-brake on a car.
Yeah, it's.
All right.
So now you're comfortable. Now you can move your seat forward more or less, whatever you need, and now it's not hitting your legs.
Well, it looks down like just a touch. A tall guy.
Yeah. There you go. So I think
I'm maxed out to the ground here.
So you might need to push your seat further back a little bit.
All right.
So I'll try. It's going to hit your legs. No. Is it comfortable for your arms? Like, is it? That's a bit too.
Might be a little too far.
No, this is okay. If your arms are fully extended at the neutral position, no, you got to come a little bit further in. There you go.
One more click.
Yeah.
I think we'll be grooving. There we go.
So on the real plane, you can actually adjust how far in the pedals are. You can adjust them to be pushed further into the front, but this is a replica, so it doesn't have that. Next is this dial here. It's going to be on the right side of your seat. So this one will move the lumbar support up and down, and the whole backrest up and down.
Okay.
Don't, not that one. Then on the left side, there's a little bar, and it says recline on it.
Yep.
So you can recline your seat as much as you need to, or as forward as you need to. Usually for takeoff, I like to sit in a more upright position. And you got one more dial on this side, and I don't remember what this one. Oh, this one inflates or lowers the lumbar support. So if you want more lumbar support, you twist this one here on the left side.
Gotcha.
So for takeoff and landing, I like to sit in as far upright as I can. That's comfortable for me, because it allows me full range of the controls, and it also allows me to reach everything I need easily. But also, believe it or not, sitting up straight, like, it gives you some confidence. and I find that when I sit up straight, I do better. Like I perform better in handling the aircraft. So that's just a thing there. Okay, so now that are you comfortable? You're okay now?
I think so.
All right. So next step is going to be for us to start programming the flight plan. Basically, today's flight is from Pearson over to Rome. And I just want to check one thing before we start programming that. Okay, so first of all, we got to start by initializing the position of the aircraft. Now, when the aircraft's been shut off, basically the GPS systems turn off and the aircraft doesn't know where it's at when it starts up again. So this is the page that we're on here. It's called the position initialization page. Basically, all we're going to do is going to type in the airport code where we're at, which is Pearson, so that's CYYZ. And the GPS is already aligned, so we don't have to do anything else there. Next, we go over to route page. So here we type in where we want to go, where we're coming from, and where we want to go. So once again, we're at CYYZ, so that's our origin. Our destination is Rome, Fiumicino, and the ICAO, or the ICAO code for that airport is...
FCO.
No,
No?
For the ICAO code, it's different. It's LIRF.
Ah.
So our flight number is Air Canada 125. Just a random flight number, doesn't matter. And now we're going to start programming the departure. So for today's flight, we're going to open up our route page here. So we're taking off from Pearson runway 23. So that's why you see CYYZ/23, and we're taking the Verto 7 departure at the lower cut transition. So basically what this means is the Verto 7 is a set of waypoints. Okay, so let's go through the checklists. So you got the checklist there.
There you go.
Alright, go for it.
Alright, inspection.
Completed.
Oxygen.
We're going to check that, so push this red button here on the left side. The red button there, just to the left.
Yep.
Okay, it works.
Got air. FMC.
Is programmed. Oh, actually it's not. We forgot to do the takeoff information here.
This is why we go through the checklist.
That's exactly it. Reserve is 10. Cruise altitude is... Cruise altitude 350. Cost index is what? What's the cost index? 170. And thrust limit, oh, hang on. Performance initialization, initial reference. Okay, thrust limit is 5%. Climb 1. Takeoff is flaps 5. Center of gravity is 22%. So there's our V speeds now. And our trim needs to be 5.75, so we'll make sure it is.
What's that doing?
So the aircraft has a trim, basically has a very small control surface on each control surface that basically it influences the overall behavior of the plane. If you push these buttons down, the plane will start to go up very slowly like this. So what it does is it assists pilots because these controls can be very heavy without trim. So when a plane is really heavy, you have to pull on this and wait for a very long time for it to take off. So you set the trim down and it kind of holds it for you, like that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so trim is set. Thrust limit's good. V speeds are good. Okay, ready to continue.
Alright. FMC.
Programmed.
Briefing.
Completed.
Altimeters and flight instruments.
Set
Parking brake.
is on.
Fuel control switches.
Does it say they need to be on or off?
Cut off.
Okay, they're cut off.
Transponder.
Is on standby.
Logbook ETOPS.
Completed.
APU.
APU is running. So next we gotta do the before start checklist.
Alright. External power.
External power is disconnected.
Cabin windows.
Are closed.
Seatbelt signs.
And you want to turn the seatbelt signs on there?
Yeah, we're about
Right here.
on. Hydraulic pumps.
in the off position? Do they need to be on?
On auto.
Okay, so we'll go auto, auto, auto. So these ones are the pumps for our wing surfaces and everything. They're all on.
Fuel quantity.
Is checked.
Fuel pumps.
Turning them on now.
Beacon.
Beacon's on.
MCP.
Is not programmed. So MCP climbing right up to 35. Requesting pushback.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake is set. So now they're going to hook up a tug to the front here, and they're going to lift the plane up in the front.
Okay, steering pin inserted. Please release brakes.
Is that the engine starting on that noise?
No, that's the engine. That's the car outside.
Oh.
Parking brake's released. So now they're going to push us back, and we're going to wait for them to tell us on the ground that the engines are clear, because they often have people on each wing walking the plane back as it pushes back to make sure there's no collisions.
Wow, it actually feels like you're moving, eh?
Yeah, yeah, it does. So we got a clear engine start, so now we're going to start up the engine. So we're going to start off by introducing the left engine, and we'll switch over to the engine page. So right engine start.
Start up one at a time?
Yeah. On this plane you can do both, but the best practice is to do each one individually. And
wow, I'm actually kind of nervous, not gonna lie.
Why are you
Set parking
nervous?
brake.
Parking brake is set.
Alright.
Towing system is removed. Please wait for my hand signal on the left hand side. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Alright, and we'll wait for this switch to pop back into the normal position, then we'll know the engine's been started. There it goes, and we'll start left engine now. I'm going to watch our oil pressure here, make sure once it's up to 7, then we introduce the fuel through this switch. So you'll do this one. Basically what you do is you pull the switch, lift it, and release it.
Okay.
So there's 7, you can go ahead and do it now. That's it, let go. And you now put fuel into the engine. And we'll watch this switch here, and we'll also monitor the exhaust gas temperature. Make sure the engine's starting okay. Okay, and left engine, good start. So now that our engines are started, we can turn off the auxiliary power unit, as we don't need power from the back anymore.
I want to watch out for that car, eh?
Yeah, he's got to stop for us. See? In this world, the airplanes have the highest priority. Sometimes no, though. You can just hold it in place. You don't have to go all the way with it.
On runway.
Now you just want the center of the runway in the middle here. Because if not, we'll have to course correct during takeoff. There you go, perfect. Now we'll stop the plane here.
Alright.
And now I'll tell you, so the procedure is during takeoff, the pilot flying always keeps one hand on the controls and one hand on the throttle. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to advance the throttle up to 50%, and you'll see up here the percentage going up to 50. Then we'll wait for a few seconds to make sure the engine's stabilized and make sure that they're running perfectly fine. And then what you do is you press this button right here. There's a button here called the TOGA button, take off, go around, TOGA. And what it'll do is the plane will take the throttle. The plane will just take it and push it to the max.
Okay.
So then you don't put any pressure on it, you just let it take your hand, but you don't take your hand off of it.
Gotcha.
So then once it's running and we're
So
going
it
fast,
guides you, you don't guide it.
Yeah.
Alright.
then we have certain V speeds. So these are vertical speeds. Basically, not vertical speeds, they're V speeds. Basically, we have 3 tiers. We have V1, we have rotate, and V2. So V1 is the speed. If we're below V1 speed, which in this case will be 148 knots, if an engine fails or if we have an emergency, we still have time to stop the plane before the end of the runway.
Okay.
At rotate and after V1, we can no longer stop the plane. If there's an engine fire, we have to keep going with the takeoff. We can fly on one engine just fine. We'll be a bit slower, but if we're past V1, we no longer have enough time to stop the plane before the runway.
All right.
When you hear rotate, that's when you're going to pull the stick back.
Okay.
And at this time, when you hear V1, that's when you take your... Oh. This guy gets me every time. Alright, thanks.
We forgot to dust our windows.
Yeah, we're all good. So, when they say V1, you take your left hand off or right hand off of the throttle and both hands onto the steering wheel, onto the column, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. And at rotate, we pull back. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll disengage the parking brake. Oh, one more thing. When we're rolling down the runway, if you notice we're going off center,
Yeah.
you're going to push the rudder left or right to recenter the airplane.
Okay, and I want to get in the middle of those 2 green lights.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Or as long as you have the center on the white dash line going down the middle.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we'll disengage the parking brake. We'll turn on our landing lights. Turn off runway turn off lights. And we'll turn off our taxi lights. Make sure our strobe lights are on. And we'll do one final check of everything. Make sure everything's good. Okay, we're all good. So go ahead and push the throttle up to 50. So that's about halfway.
Where can I see that it's going to 15? Like
You'll see the percentage here. This is the
Okay.
percentage throttle we're at right now.
All right.
But you'll also be able to see it physically because you can push it to 50%.
Oh, these are moving independently. Is that right?
They can move independently, but in this case, you want to move them together.
Okay.
Is it a lot of resistance?
No, it's not bad. I'm just trying to be a little bit gentle here.
You can be a bit more liberal with this one.
All right. So does this control each
Engine.
Each
throttle.
engine
Yeah. So
separately?
there's 48%. That's good. We're stabilized. So now you're gonna push the button underneath,
Sorry, where?
right here,
Oh, on both.
and
down?
just let it take your hand. Go with it. Go with it. There you go.
Oh shit.
No, don't use this to steer on the ground. Use your
Yeah,
rudders.
yeah.
So a little bit left. Too much. That's good. A little bit right. A little bit of right.
80 knots.
There you go. You're good.
V1,
Rotate.
rotate.
Pull up.
V2,
You're good. You're good. Hold it. Hold it there. Neutral. 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 Neutral on this.
Oh.
Positive rate.
Oh.
And we'll put a gear up. And just hold it here. Hold it nice and level. We're a little bit tilted on the left, so tilt it back to the right and push down the nose. We're going too steep.
Oh. Yeah, I can see now.
We're not going to follow the flight director for the time being.
Oh, we're not. Okay.
We're just going to make sure we're okay.
Let's level out a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
You're doing good.
Straighten up.
Okay, you can start it to right turn now.
Okay.
So go ahead and give it a right turn.
Whoa. That's wild.
Okay, not too much.
line,
Oh.
clear of conflict.
We're good. And we're losing speed, so we're going to push the nose down just a little bit. There you go. See, that's the stall indicator. So if you go below a certain speed at a certain altitude, it'll warn you that you're stalling.
Gotcha.
So that warning will come on just before we do stall. So you can stop pushing back on it. Just leave it neutral. Pull up now.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's a good nose angle there. Just keep that right turn going.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
yeah, we're trying to get back on
You can
path
leave this
here.
neutral.
That was neutral. So I'm supposed to have my hands on here the whole time, right?
Yeah. as long as you're flying manually. Okay, left turn. See how the cross is moving across now?
Yep.
So now you're going to follow those lines. Try to keep the nose in the center of that cross. Very good. That's good. Yeah. And there's the CN Tower right there.
Right on.
Bishop Airport. Isn't that where you used to live, down there near that CN Tower?
Right there, right on the water.
Nice. Now whenever you want, we can turn the autopilot on, but if you prefer to hand fly it for a while, you can do that.
Yeah, let's try it.
Not too much, not too much. There's a maximum 30-degree bank angle.
Okay.
Actually, try it. Try going maximum bank angle. See what happens. Just for the fun of it. Go full left. Or, yeah, full right. Stop, stop, stop. That's a little too much, but you hear that sound?
Yeah.
And now we're stalling. So what happens is the wings are not able to provide enough lift anymore at that angle. So you can't go to more than that.
So this plane can't do a full barrel roll, is what you're saying?
It can, but you'll get a ton of warnings.
Gotcha. So I gotta go.
Alright, so now we're on track to land at runway 16 left. And I'll tell you, so on the vertical part, you'll see a purple diamond.
Okay.
On the horizontal, you'll see a purple diamond as well. Right now it's a triangle, but it'll turn to a diamond. Basically, you want to keep the plane with those diamonds in the middle of their position at all times.
Okay.
That diamond is called the ILS Instrument Landing System. So when there's no visibility on the runway, pilots will use that to know how to glide the plane in for landing. Okay, so remember I told you about the trim?
Yeah.
I want you to try something. So disengage the autopilot by clicking on this button here.
Okay.
So click it, and click it again. So now it's silenced. So now we're in control.
Okay.
So now, see, we're a bit above the diamond, so we need to increase our descent. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these two buttons and just push them up. Just hold them up. And you'll see the plane will nose down a bit. See, very slightly.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of coming off center, so we're going to pull up a little bit, and we're going to pull them back, because we're now going a little bit too low. See how the diamond's going above?
Are we keeping the trim on?
In worst case scenario, see now like this one now, we'll use the stick. Well, so like if you look outside, you'll see, okay, you can kind of judge, like, yeah, we're kind of low and we're kind of off centered, so we're gonna just pull up a little bit more to stop our descent here, because we'll hit the ground if not.
Yeah.
And see the diamond coming across the horizontal now?
Yeah.
So as it comes across, just follow it. So like left.
Yeah.
Just left a little more. A little more. Like that. And just let it neutral. And just let the plane pull itself that way. And we're going to pull up a bit more.
Yeah.
That's good. And then right a little bit. Perfect. Okay, too much. Too much. We want to keep the plane level. See, we were at a good direction there.
6 left.
So left a little bit. Just a tiny smidge.
Yep.
A bit more. And push your nose down. That's good, that's good, that's good.
Okay.
Not too much. Left more. And remember what I said, keep your eye on the very end of the runway there.
500.
Yeah.
So we're going to
The
aim.
beginning.
Yeah. We're going to aim for the runway. Left.
Left. It looks like we should be going right. It's weird.
Oh, I guess it's a bit different from your perspective there.
Yeah.
So I'm on the right side. So yeah, you're pretty good. But just push the nose down a little bit more. That's good. Left a bit. Smidge. Up a little bit. That's good. That's good. Up a little, just a little bit more. That's good. Perfect. Perfect. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Look at the end of the runway. See, we're sinking very fast. So pull up. Not too much. Not too much. Shit. That's good. A little bit more. Just nudge it up. Nudge it up like this.
Oh.
That's good. Leave it.
20.
Oh shit.
10.
There you go. That's it. And now we're going to do thrust reversers, left rudder to get ourselves back on center. A little bit of left rudder. Push this one. Too much, too much.
Oh.
Yeah. They're very sensitive controls. It's
Yeah.
a big plane, but they're very sensitive controls, so you don't need to push them too much. And that's good. So now we'll use the
Manual
toe
braking.
brakes. Now we're
Oh,
manual.
yeah.
So now you can take your hands off these. It's all on this now.
Right.
Oh
On
shit.
runway 16 left. Caution, short runway, short runway.
Hey.
So now gonna follow this path here on the right, and you
Alright.
can use the toe brakes to slow the plane down more if you feel like you need to. It's a satellite terminal, I think. No, it's not. It's not. It's got a train though going to it.
Yeah.
See that? There's the monorail. The monorail that goes into the terminal.
Yeah.
So there's no way to access it except by a train. That's funny. That's pretty cool though.
Probably,
Water.
I'm gonna be going through there next week. 2 weeks from now.
Depends. If you park at this terminal, then you will.
Yeah.
But I think this might be for regional flights only.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pretty small one.
Okay, are we parking up here?
Yeah, so you see that gate there, like the tube with those
Yeah.
blue cars in front? So we're gonna stay on the right side of that tube. So see, actually, you'll be able to see the yellow line start
Yeah.
to go right to
How
it.
do we slow this up down here?
Brakes on the toes.
Oh, right. At this point, would they have the taxi pull us in?
No, there's no taxi that pulls you in. You
No?
fly the plane from gate to gate. They only taxi the aircraft if they need to move it from one gate to another, or they need to pull it to the maintenance hangar or away from the maintenance hangar. That's good. Perfect. And we can make sure that parking brake is engaged. Turn off the engines. And that's
Have
it.
arrived.
We have arrived. And these can come off. And so can these. And fuel pumps off. And passenger seatbelt signs off. And I think that's no logo, beacon, nav. Come off, strobe lights off, taxi lights off. And that's it. So how did you like your first flight?
I think we did all right.
Yeah? Would you consider coming back?
Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in another video, and thanks for flying.
Thank you.
Alright.